Perfect. Welcome MTO family once again to another AMA. Today is February the 13th of 2022, if I'm still correct. So today we have a lot to talk about. I am going to be talking to you about a new crazy update on the MVP. So I will be sharing a lot of new information about it. I will also show you a video of how it works, and I will talk about the formula, but I will actually just share that formula later on with you. I will also be talking about the merchant token price and how to read it. I have noticed in some of the chats on Telegram that sometimes people they just don't understand how CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko actually read certain prices, so I just want to clarify that. I will also be talking about the website and the roadmap, and also partnerships and how are we looking into releasing that information for you, and also kind of like what this 3-year plan that everybody is talking about look of. So without further ado, let me just start talking into that. In the meantime, I hope you guys can hear me properly. As you can see, the live stream itself has changed, and we are kind of like, I'm trying to improve things so they will look a bit better for you. So the first thing I want to share with you, let me just share my screen here, is the Certik application. I can see here that the positive vibes in the last 24 hours, or from the 2012 and from the 12th to the 13th, it is looking pretty positive. I still see this neutral of 62% of people out there, which is not really encouraging, but it is good to see, you know, that at least it's all positive. We still have a lot of people that are talking negative about the project. I believe, personally speaking, that the majority of those people are people that are still scared of, they haven't seen many updates or many things. They haven't actually been following, you know, those updates that we're sharing through the AMAs and the project updates as well. But also, I do believe that we have a lot of people that are trying to profit out of fear, uncertainty and doubt, and that's kind of like why they do that. But it is understandable. A lot of projects have the same. This is, as I say, this is just a short time frame, so the more we post on Twitter, the more we will see, and this is literally just following Twitter account, as you can see. And we do have still like a few people kind of like calling a scam, and you know, kind of like that things that happen. A lot of people want the project to be listed on Binance. Now, and I actually wanted to talk about that because I have been talking about with some I would say companies that deals with or help projects kind of like get listed in certain exchanges. We do have basically everything comes down to volume, and they have told us that, for instance, for us to be able to get listed in certain exchanges such as KIO, KuCoin, Bitfinex, that I remember like a lot of people wanted for us to get listed there, they will not consider our project until we start having at least 1 million daily volume. So daily, and it has to be consistent, so for a long period of time. And unfortunately we can't have that at this point because we have a lot of people that of course are holding their tokens due to the current price, and we don't have many new joiners because of, you know, the overall kind of like look that it has a project. So personally speaking, I hope that once we release the website with a new roadmap, people are gonna feel a lot more secure into the project. Also, once we have the alpha test coming out, people will be a lot more secure into this. We're gonna have a bridge going to PancakeSwap, which will allow people to DCA with lower amounts. So right now, for you to be able to buy into Uniswap, you have to buy through kind of like big amounts. So it will be easier if we have like PancakeSwap, because we will be able to, you know, people will be able to buy even $100 worth of MTOs at that point. So the bridge is coming. we are gonna be releasing the website soon. So all these kind of things, all these things are coming, and it's very exciting actually to see. And I'm so excited for how the project is looking on. On this point, I want to open a parenthesis because I have really a lot of exciting news to share with you with some updates for the MVP. So the main developer has sent us this video. He has finally completed a huge part of the MVP that kind of like they were stuck on. And basically what I will be sharing with you today is the formula as well on how the merchant reputation is calculated. So just to kind of like a quick overview for those of you who haven't been following this, the MVP, which is this, is kind of like how the project will look, and it is looking so far. Sorry, on that I have something else as well that I want to share with you. But basically, the way we look is consumer protection that we're trying to offer here. So basically, when someone makes a purchase, you will be able to dispute it. However, disputes will follow certain rules. Depending and people who will be able to get or work on those disputes, they will have to have a reputation on that. So depending on the reputation that you community member have, you will be able to access certain disputes to have. The same will happen for merchants. A merchant that just joined the ecosystem will not be able to have certain benefits, for instance. So when it gets a dispute, it will have to be looked into further than a merchant with, you know, a lot of reputation, because it will work that way. Kind of like a merchant builds its reputation with us, and then agents will build their reputation with us at the same time. And it kind of like grows up further, and the more an agent has a reputation, the more it will be trusted by the community, by the ecosystem, by the merchants as well. So it will have access to more disputes to do. Same on the other hand, we have the merchants that the more reputation they have, the better the disputes will be treated. So much so that they will even have access to a automated dispute management, which means that sometimes it will calculate a dispute based on the reputation of that merchant, and it will actually automatically cancel the dispute if that merchant has so much high reputation. Of course, if that is the case, then the reputation will decrease because it needs to be balanced. Just because you have a lot of like a high reputation doesn't mean that you send the product, or doesn't mean that the product is not defective. So again, when you use certain kind of like access that you are granted, your reputation will be lower. And the same will happen for the agents, which will be yourself. So if you want to earn MTOs at that stage, then you will be able to solve disputes. And if your disputes that you're solving are not correct, then those are kind of like decrease. Now, I have kind of like give you a summary. Let's jump into the video. It is a 10-minute video. I will be skipping some parts so that you will not be boring about certain things. But as you can see here, we have the admin, the merchant, and the agent pages basically. Here he is adding some products. I'm just gonna skip this part because it's pretty self-explanatory. So we have now the products with the prices, when were they created, etc. And now we have the marketplace basically. So in the marketplace now you have the products, and now the customer can purchase it. So as you can see here, it's going through the normal permissions that you see on MetaMask for you to allow you to buy these products. And remember that every single transaction that happened here happens on the blockchain, because this is a totally decentralized system. So this will be able to work on its own without any company behind it. And that's what makes it so amazing. On what we're working on right now, and that's the reason why we don't have any kind of like competition at the moment. So as you can see, the purchase was made, and it has already come through. and we are not going to be disputing it at the moment. And we're just going to let it pass the withdrawal time so that we see basically what happened on this part as well. So in the meantime, the customer is buying another product. I'm just going to skip this part. Again, we saw it before. And here we are doing basically a dispute. As you saw on the, let me just show you this screen before. So here, this is an admin kind of like screen. So the agent, which is yourself, let's say, you will not be able to see this page. This is just going to be the admin. And at the moment we are we're doing this manually. This could be eventually be automated, but at the moment here the admin is looking for agents to be able to give that dispute. As you can see here, there are no agents waiting. So he is going to go and get an agent to participate. So just imagine that the agent is yourself, because it is the community eventually who is going to be actually performing these disputes. It could be anybody who holds MTO, and then again, reputation will grow up. As you can see here, you have to actually pay MTOs for you to be able to participate, and again everything is recorded on the blockchain, so you can see this part here. And now that you have registered, you are basically waiting for the dispute to be allocated to you. Again, remember, we are doing here tests with one customer, one person, you know, requesting a dispute. This will be a completely different scenario once we launch the system and we have hundreds of thousands of orders coming in, I don't know, thousands of disputes and all this kind of thing. So it will be a massive operation. Right now we're doing it with just one. So that's why you actually have to look into this. So once again, we see here the agent actually, sorry, this is the admin assigning the dispute to an agent. And now the agent can reload and we'll see that one has been allocated to himself. So you have here the descriptions, the details about the dispute. Once again, this is just extremely simplified. So you actually have the option to approve or disapprove this dispute. So basically, if you approve it, you are giving directly the basically the win to the buyer, basically, because the buyer is the one that is disputing it. So if you approve it, you're saying yes, the buyer actually won the case. If you disapprove it, it means the buyer didn't won the case. So again, there will be a lot more information on this screen for you to take that decision. So as you can see here, we have that you have to wait a result from another agent. This is because some disputes will need more than one agent for you to be able to actually for that dispute to go through. So either approved or disapproved. So before that dispute is completed, there will be multiple agents. It could be one, it could be two, it could be 10, depending on the merchant's actually request as well. That will change as well. And of course, remember that it will change on fees and all these kind of things. So everything will be calculated in the future, depending on how much you will win as well for that dispute that you will be doing. So as you can see here, another agent is needed. So the admin actually created another agent, will allocate another agent, and there is here another agent wanting to participate into the dispute system. So once we have this this new agent, the admin can go and assign the case again. As you can see here, he has another agent waiting, and he is assigning it to agent number 2. And once again, the agent number 2 is approving the dispute. So we have here waiting for the result from an agent. And now, because the both of agents approved the dispute in this case, you get here a congratulation message saying that you have earned 10 MTOs for reviewing the case dispute. And your score got 20 points for your score, which is again your reputation. The higher it is, the more disputes you will have access to. Again, points and all these kind of formulas we have them ready, and that's what I will be showing you later on as well. But we will be also have to test this in the real world to see if they actually work or not, and that's what the alpha actually test is about. And we're gonna get there eventually, and you guys are gonna be able to participate on this one as well. Remember, if two agents disagree, basically then maybe a third agent will be needed to get the unbalance that part. So as you can see here, meantime, one of the non-dispute escrows has, sorry, let me just finish that point before. So if you have two agents that disagree, then a third agent will come in, will take the decision, and then whoever basically win, the person who took the wrong decision will not only lose points on the reputation, but also lose MTOs, because it didn't actually did the dispute or took seriously the dispute. And that will avoid basically for people to just go there and click randomly. You actually have to go and make sure that you are doing the correct your job correctly for you to be able to earn MTOs at that point and increase your reputation. So as you can see here, in the meantime, one of the non-disputed escrows has moved into the withdrawal time and has gone to merchant by 2 escrows. Merchant has now 52 points of reputation. So we are actually seeing here how the merchant's reputation increases as well. So once again, we have another another agent participating into this. And again, the buyer is now gonna go and make a purchase. Let me just move this forward so they will not take time. So here we see another non-dispute escrow has passed the withdrawal time, and now the reputation is 68, because once it passed the withdrawal time, it means that the customer is happy with what they bought, so the merchant's reputation keeps growing over time. So the more purchases are done through that merchant, and the more the purchases go through well, then the more things we see, the more the reputation of the merchant will grow over time. Same with disputes. If there is a dispute that goes for the merchant, in favor of the merchant, then of course the reputation will go up. If it goes against the merchant, the reputation will decrease as well. So we have here another agent that has to review this new dispute, and in this case is disapproving it. And here we're waiting for the result from another agent. And again, the other agent is participating again. And the admin now, it is going to assign the case to the second agent. Once again, all these processes will be a lot faster. Maybe you don't have to go and assign it manually. It will be a lot more automatic in the future. But these are the things that we are actually working to to deal with. So in this case, we are working with a disapproved case. So this is a second agent agreeing with the first agent. And again, you will not be able to see what the other agent have said about this dispute. And as you can see here, we have a product that's failed and another that was won by the merchant itself. So now the merchant's reputation has again increased because the merchant itself won the case. So here, customer is making another purchase. And it is going to dispute this case again. So again, to raise a dispute, the customer has to pay a fee. And in this case, because the merchant has enough reputation, this dispute is going to be done by an automatic dispute management, as you can see here. So it goes for the automatic dispute management, and it says you are trying to submit the dispute to an automatic dispute management system. As the merchant has a reputation of 77, dispute will automatically be disapproved, and the funds will be transferred to the merchant's address. So are you happy to proceed? Again, this is the agent doing that. So basically, because the merchant has enough reputation at this point, he is going to be able to just win the dispute automatically. And now we see here the admin reputation and the dispute status. And that is all for now. So as you can see here, guys, there is a lot here advancing as well. And I don't want to go into all the details of the formula. I will be sharing that on Telegram for you to have a look at. I think I will just create a PDF and then put the link so that that doesn't actually go into the whole chat and doesn't overcome the whole chat. I really don't want to go into all the details of the formula, but you will be able to go and see into how this is just specifically how the ADM will calculate the merchant's reputation. So you can actually see here how it works. You have the total reputation starts from 100, then it will go 60% for successful escrow and 40 for 100% successful payment amount. Then you have several examples here. You have as well the details of how the formula will work and the actual reputation calculation here, where you can actually see the successful and failed escrows, successful and return payment ratio, the merchant business age, because again, this will also influence the merchant's reputation. So someone that just joined with us yesterday, for instance, will not have actually too much reputation. But if we have a merchant that has been working with us for over 10 years, then that merchant will get even more reputation or a higher reputation. So that's actually very, very interesting as well, that we are actually taking that in consideration. Also, we have all the kind of like success value that will come from ADMs as well. So this is, again, guys, I think this is something that everybody who wants to have a look into that should go. So I will be posting that on the Telegram. I will just be kind of like posting the PDF on Telegram at the end of this chat, at the end of this live stream. So I think, guys, there is a lot here to unpack, and if you want to go and watch this video again, you know, with the video, it is actually nice for you to go and do that again. I will also be posting the video that that I was sent on Telegram, so you can actually go and watch it, because again, for you guys to know and see. Something really really good I want to see. You saw that interface or user interface that you saw for the MVP. That is gonna be completely different when the beta test comes out. We already have agreed with a company that is actually set in Texas, and they do basically graphic designs for user interfaces for big projects, and we want that to feel new. We want that to be something that people are gonna kind of like love it when they actually use it. So we are gonna get a big company to design the user interface for our product once we get to the stage of the beta test. The MVP doesn't make sense. As you can see, a lot of things will change. Alpha will be coming with you to start kind of like having some interactions, and with us getting some more into that, and understanding if the formulas that we're using are actually correct or need to be updated. But that once we have passed that stage and we enter the beta test stage, then at that point we want that to feel and look almost have a finished touch, and so that people will be happy and customers and merchants will be happy to use this system. Because remember, once we hit the beta test, we will have some actual merchants using it and some actual customers using it as well. So another thing I wanted to talk to you, and what I said before, is about price. I can see here that a lot of people don't understand how to read the prices that you actually see on CoinGecko and coinmarketcap. Sometimes people get confused and people see like a price 14 cents here, 16 cents on coinmarketcap, and they don't know what to look and what price to look. You guys are not used to this if you are new to crypto, and most importantly if you look at big projects. So big projects with big volume, they're not going to have this problem, and the price will most likely be just a few cents difference depending on the platforms. The difference on the price, it actually comes on where the information is coming from. So for instance, CoinGecko relies more on the price coming from Uniswap. As you can see here, we have the markets that CoinGecko goes and read to, and we can see the same if we go down for CoinMarketCap as well. So you can see here that the prices are the same. As you can see on Uniswap, it is trading at 16 cents, and same is here. But you can see Hotbit has a different price, Whitebit has a different price, and you have the same here as well. So basically how it works, CoinMarketCap will just go, and CoinGecko, they will just go and take either an average on the prices or pick the best price that they think it is more reliable, because that's for them to see. So you have here a trust score that will give them kind of like a reliability for them to see, because they might not be trusting the price coming from Hotbit or Whitebit or Bitrue or other exchanges that we will add in the future, because they might have issues with those prices in the past, or other projects, kind of like manipulating their prices as well. So that's something really important as well. And what they do is they kind of like take the one that they think it is most convenient for them. This kind of like is when you see these kind of like prices here, you also have the opportunity to do some arbitrage. But you have to remember that Hotbit, Whitebit, and Bitrue in this case are centralized exchanges, and use a completely different way to trading. So basically what you go there and you put a trade and you say, I wish to buy it for 13 cents. And then if someone is good enough and wants to sell it to you for 13 cents, then you will be able to actually buy it. But you just cannot buy it there at that price just because it says here that the price is 13 cents. So you actually have to wait for someone to sell your tokens or their tokens at the price that you want on a centralized exchange. Instead, on Uniswap, for instance, you have the price here, which is set by an automated market maker, which basically means that you can go and sell your tokens on Uniswap at this price, and that's the price that is going to be sold for. The only way the price will differ is if you sell too much of your price, because depending on the liquidity, basically you will be changing the price yourself, depending on how much money you want to exchange in there. And that's the reason why we want to also add on PancakeSwap, because just imagine if you're lucky enough and you can actually buy some tokens at 13 cents on Hotbit. This means, by the way, that people are trying to buy tokens at 13 cents, but it doesn't take in consideration the people that are trying to sell it for, because the sale, if I'm not mistaken, Hotbit at the moment is like 16 or 17 cents, because of course people are not stupid and they're not going to put 14 cents when they can actually go and sell it on Uniswap for 16, to give you an example. So the same thing that we will have on PancakeSwap will allow smaller people, or smaller fish I will call it, to go and trade with less money. So you can go and maybe place a trade on Hotbit for 14 cents. Maybe people will sell it even $100. Then you withdraw it to PancakeSwap and you exchange it, and you can leverage there. And by doing that arbitrage, the price will basically balance it up. So eventually in the future, when we will have those millions and millions of trading volume, we will see a price that will be very similar in every exchange that we are listed on, and DEX as well. So that's how the price will balance as well. So I just wanted to clarify that, just for those people who are still kind of like a bit concerned on the price as well. Another thing I wanted to show you guys is the current stage of the market. We are kind of trading sideways. We have been talking with some experts on the field. Again, guys, nobody can really predict what's going to happen with Bitcoin, but I think what we were told is that the majority of the majority of the market basically is waiting for what's going to happen in March, when the Feds kind of like are going to release the new updates, and when that happens, then we will actually see if the crypto market in general will go dormant, or it will enter a crypto market, or we will see another bull market. But nobody actually is expecting a bull market at the moment. We might see the price oscillating in the range, you know, in the current range that we have now. So we will see some people kind of like going up and down, but we expect either a side trading or a bear market. And to be honest, that will benefit the projects overall. If we were to enter in a crypto market, in a crypto winter right now, that will only benefit MTO, because again, we are not quite ready yet to deliver the product. So once we are in a bull market and we have the product ready, then at that point it will be a completely different scenario for the whole project overall, and it will help us as well to kind of like get that extra kick and get mainstream as well. And with that in mind, I wanted to share with you where are we at with the marketing and the current market trend. So with marketing related, as I have said before, we have dialed it down with the marketing. So we are not going to be doing much marketing at the moment. With the current market trend, we don't feel that tapping into the broad aspect of, you know, consumers or users out there, or crypto investors, it is the right solution. It is kind of like wasting money out there. So what we will be working on is we will be creating certain articles that we will be posting in specific websites, and specific crypto related, of course, websites and news, so that we are hoping that the whales that we are actually trying to aim to are the ones that are actually going to be reading said article. So we are actually hoping to capture that specific kind of like crypto investor rather than going broad, because we will go broad once we have a better market in general, and once we are even more ready for that. On that note as well, I want to share with you that the website and the roadmap will be coming. We are hoping to have it ready definitely by Q1. We will have, we also need your help to choose the name for the roadmap. So what we're going to be having is stages. So we're going to be doing different stages for the roadmap that we will be doing. So to give you an example, we are on the MVP stage. So that's kind of like we'll have a name. Then once we enter the alpha test, we will have another stage. Then once we enter the beta test, that will enter another stage. And then we will have several different stages that will kind of like depict what is happening and where are we at with the project. That will also give you guys a better understanding on where we at, where are we heading, and all those kind of things that we see ahead. We will not have specific dates such as what you saw on the previous roadmap, specifically by Q1 or by the 13th of whatever. We will have specific things coming out. We will not have that unless we have something that is signed. Then at that point we will have that. But I will actually have that specific roadmap more into the marketing side, because again we will have two different roadmaps, one which is the development of the project overall, and then we will have another more community centered roadmap, which is, as we were discussing before, for instance, listing on an exchange, or the bridge itself, or the listing on the DEX, these kind of things, that we have a more accurate timeline that will be there. Of course, certain integrations will be on the stages as well, because that actually is part of the development. For instance, like things like the bridge, but certain other things we will have it on the marketing roadmap, which that will be a lot more interactive. So we will be changing it a lot more often. We will be adding new things. We will have mostly a roadmap that it will actually cover quarterly basis. So you will actually see and have a roadmap for the next 2 to 3 months. You will actually be able to see what we will be working on, and then that will be updated as long as we go. I am hoping to be updating that every month, so that you will actually see what's coming and what's coming and what's coming in the next 2 to 3 months, every time, basically. Again, on this point, I do want to talk about the famous 3 years project that we are working on, and this is something I think a lot of people confuse when they are talking. Oh, should I be holding? I'm sorry, let me just actually change here. Should I be holding my tokens for 3 years? Should I sell now? Should I wait? Or people get confused when other people talk about these 3 years project. And what is really important for you to understand is that when John said his gut feeling is that everything will be ready in 3 years, doesn't mean that, okay, guys, we're shutting down, we're not going to be communicating with you, see you in 3 years. No, what he means is that the final product will, or he hopes that the final product, he will be able to have that ready in 3 years, and that we will already have merchants, we will already have customers, and we will already have a better overall look into everything by 3 years. So that's the expectations of John. However, that doesn't mean that we will not have updates. Actually, it's the opposite. So what he means here is that in the meantime, during these 3 years, you will also see how the project is evolving. Remember, we're actually doing project updates every other week. So literally, you actually get to see every other week, where are we at? So how are we evolving? Like today, so you actually can see where are we at with the MVP, where are we at with the formulas, how things are evolving, and where are we headed as well. So once we hit the alpha test, you will actually be able to know that, and you will also have to be able, you will also be able to be more interactive into that. We will be moving forward as well then to the beta test and so on, and all that information will be released. And that doesn't mean that it will take 3 years for the beta test. it means that we don't know yet how long it will take for each phase, for us to reach each phase, but we are hoping that we will be able to have everything done by 3 years. So that's what the 3 years timeline means. So of course you have to also take your own decisions if you want to be waiting all that time. If you don't believe in this project and you want to sell off, it is entirely up to you. Remember, this is a completely decentralized platform as well. Also, I have been doing some digging into Etherscan and transactions, and I want to share with you that I will be doing maybe some videos, maybe live stream or a recorded video, I don't know yet, but basically sharing with you, because we still have a lot of people that talk and say that basically we played at the beginning with the way the liquidity was added and the way the tokens were distributed, and I want to actually go down and shed some light into that and basically explain and make you guys understand that there was nothing fishy or nothing dodgy done by the company back then as well, just to kind of like clarify certain things. At this point we are almost reaching the end, so I really want you guys to ask any questions if you have them. If you have any questions, put them in the chat below and I will actually pop them on the screen. I think here, yep, somewhere around here you will see it popping out there. So if you have any questions, so that people who are watching this video will actually be able to understand what I'm talking about. The live stream is already 40 minutes. I know, guys, I wanted to keep it down to 30 minutes, as I say, just to make it easier for everybody to reach and understand. But again, I just had to share that video that I had there. So if you have any questions, just please put it in the chat and I will be reviewing that and answering those questions as well. I will leave this last 10 to 15 minutes for me to answer those questions, so it will not go too long as well. On that note, in the meantime that I'm waiting for the questions that you guys might have, I want to talk again another question that everybody's talking about, which is partnerships. So we have at the moment 2 partnerships that are already signed. One is bigger than the other. We have talked and shared that information already before, and we already have another 2 partnerships that wants to work with us, and these are huge partnerships. The good thing about this is that we got actually contacted by them to ask about the partnership. So they are actually the ones that are interested into partnering with us. So that is really, really interesting as well. We will not be sharing much details about it yet. We have not even signed the partnership at the moment. So please take this with a pinch of salt, because things can change. Of course, once we sign those partnerships, we are also looking into getting some sort of them announcing that they are partnering with us as well when we sign that, so that we can actually come public as well. So if everything goes well, we should have in the near future all 4 partnerships to announce, which is something huge actually for a project like this one here. What we're doing now, and personally speaking, I believe that the amount of FUD, because at the beginning, like a few months ago, we had a lot of FUD when we released the previous partnerships, and things went kind of like south very bad and very quickly. With the current stage of the project, I feel that not only the FUD has reduced, but we also have a lot of FUDers that are kind of like dormant as well. So I don't think releasing a partnership right now will actually be affected by the FUD. So at the moment, personally speaking, I'm actually waiting to get the right time. So first of all, before we even release the partnerships, I want to have the new website, so that when we will get, because creating such a hype with the new partnerships, we will get new people to look into our project, which means that basically they will be looking into the website, and when they will be looking into the website, they will be able to actually see all the things are happening, and that's what I will be waiting for. But I don't have a specific date yet to release the partnership, but I do want to find a key moment for us to do that, so that we will take advantage of the hype that we will be releasing with that. We have a question here, and we have it is from Mustafa, is are there any new investors? Regarding that, the only way you can actually get this is by going yourself on Etherscan, sorry, I usually do MTO Etherscan, and you can actually go and look into the amount of holders that you have. We have had some new investors. Unfortunately, this is quite hard to track. There are, I think, some websites that can actually track how many investors come and go. But I have seen some new people joining the Twitter account. I have seen some people joining the Telegram group once we have worked with influencers in the past. Unfortunately, the amount of people joining are not nearly enough what we are expecting, what we're paying for certain reviews. So that's the reason why as well we have kind of like dial that down a bit. And that's kind of like also what we were looking into when we were saying, if you guys are positive about the project on Twitter and on Telegram as well, when you have a new person that is interested into the project, and go and see what the community is talking about and what we are talking about, and if they see that we are at the same level and saying the same things about the project, then they will be more willing to buy tokens. And again, I really want to clarify this, guys. If a new person, a new token holder comes in and buy tokens, that has nothing, it doesn't affect directly HIPS or MTO or us as a developers. It affects you directly, every token holders. So it affects us because we are token holders at the same time. So at the same time, of course, if the price of the token goes up, we will benefit from that. But that's not our goal at the moment. We want the token, the price of the token to go up for you, and that's the reason why we're trying to gain new token holders as well. So at the moment, that's kind of like what I will be told. We will be answering for that. This question from Napoleon Hill: when do you expect the website to be ready? The website should be ready anytime in the next couple of weeks, if I'm not mistaken. But I will not say, like, we will not be releasing it straight away as soon as it's ready. It has to go through a lot of compliances, and we need to update a lot of things. So I'm actually expecting to be releasing at least by Q1, so by the end of March, definitely the website should be up. I really hope it will come up sooner than that, to be honest. Again, guys, you keep talking about the website, and yes, we hope that to be ready by the end of March, definitely. So just imagine yourself end of Q1, but I really hope that it will be ready a lot sooner than that, unless we hit any sort of kind of like issues with the website itself. I really hope that it will be ready way earlier than that. Any other questions out there? If not, guys, it's already 50 minutes, so I will actually be closing the live stream if I don't have any more questions from you at the moment. There is a bit of a delay, so I'm just allowing you guys to maybe just, type and send the question. What is different from crypto projects? So let me read this question. So what is different from the other crypto projects that at the beginning promised big things, price went down 90%, the whole crypto market is full of these kind of projects? I think, I don't know what you mean by this, but we cannot control the price. That's something I really want to clarify here. We cannot control the price. The price is controlled by the people who hold the tokens and who are trading it. All the tokens that are held by HIPs, they are locked, they are closed, and you can see them on the deployer. They are still there. We haven't traded, so we haven't done anything to actually modify the price or get it lower at that point. What we can affect it, the way we can affect it is with our actions. Lack of communication, that was one of the reasons why it went down. The FAD that was created around that. But you know, it's kind of like, it's something that has too many variables right now to give a straight answer, and it works with the market trends. It works around development and what has been done, the promises that has been made, the promises that have not been kept. So there is a lot around the project and the price here. However, on your specific question on what is this difference from other crypto projects, is that nobody is doing what we're doing right now. So it is not only about, remember that we're trying to bring consumer protection decentralized to the crypto markets. And the word decentralized, I think, is still not very understood by many who are actually, buying cryptos. If you see, just to give you an example, do you have a credit card at the moment that you can use with crypto? Yes, you can go to crypto.com. First of all, it's completely different because you have to actually top up. So you have to sell your crypto and top it up. So that means that you're not directly buying with crypto, you're buying still with fiat. And do you have consumer protection in there? Yes, you do have. But again, it is a centralized platform. So that means that that is owned by someone. That means that if a merchant comes and pays, I don't know, a lot of money to crypto for whatever, they could actually potentially control certain parts of the dispute management in there. To give you an example, decentralized cannot be changed or controlled by any single entity, and that's the good thing about it. The way we're building this is for HIPs to eventually, kind of like distantiate it. We will have holders, so HIPs will eventually become a holder of MTO, but it will not be the owner anymore. The owner will be the people who actually hold tokens. So nobody will be actually able to control. It's the same thing. I heard another project that was doing something that the government wanted to actually interface. I don't want to say much, but I think it was called Luna or something like that. And basically they say, oh, we are decentralized. If the government wants to regulate us, then we will just be shutting everything down and it will run on itself. And that's kind of like what we are building here. We're building a process or a project that will be able to be working on its own. The problem with that is the way we will interact with certain regulations in certain regions. So we actually need to be careful with that. So we need to mix up two things that at the moment are completely separate. And that is what, in my opinion, it is very exciting about this project, because we are actually going to tackle issues that at the moment nobody has been able to tackle. So just imagine that you will be able to go to any a merchant out there that adheres to our technology, so to MTO, and you will be able to go to with your MetaMask, with your Trust wallet, or even with our own wallet, and buy something in the cryptocurrency that merchant is accepting, cryptocurrency. We will also have our own cards, so that you will be also able to pay with the cards directly. You won't need your merchant, your wallet anymore, and that's a completely separate issue that we're trying to solve and tackle as well in the future. So again, that's the reason why I feel that this project is really, really, really good for the future of the crypto world in general as well. Aside from being a merchant token, are you looking into creating a use case on other ecosystems? Bear in mind that what we're creating will have its own API. So basically, any merchant can actually take merchant token and implement it into their own ecosystem. Sometimes they will not even have to go through us to get approval, so they can just literally copy and paste and get to work. And that's the reason why we're working on reputation systems for merchants and for agents as well, and for admins, because we will have to have all of that included. But definitely we will be working with partnerships with big entities as well that we want to integrate. So again, what we're trying to build here is a bit of a mix, and we're trying to get both kind of like sides of the coin, the full decentralization of payments, and get it integrated with what the current the current infrastructure that exists, and that's a huge step that we're trying to take there as well. Winning for you, can we expect the big boon once MTO disclose their partnerships? We cannot tell you anything about price. The market could say, oh, I don't care about these partnerships, and they will sell off. We could have potentially a lot of new people coming in and say, oh, with this partnership, it means that the project is going to take off. So we cannot say anything. And we are never going to share with you price predictions, because we just can't do any price predictions. So that will be completely up to you. We believe that the partnerships, that the companies we're partnering with are going to help help MTO reach a lot of new merchants, where it's going to help us reach a lot of new customers, and it's going to help eventually get the mainstream of our project. If that then will rise the price, and if you think that will then increase the price of the token, then that it will be up to you to take that decision. Winning for you, the marketing plan I have shared before. At the moment, we are just working into doing some articles and try to target certain niches that we believe is the one that holds the whales basically out there, that have moved out the money from Bitcoin and are looking into places on where to put that money on. That's what, personally speaking, I'm working on at the moment, and that's the reason why we will be targeting and we will be doing some articles rather than influencers. However, at the moment, the marketing plan includes the bridge, release of the partnerships, and waiting for the right time on the crypto market overall to see the new trends. If we get that improved, then we will if we see that improving, then we will definitely be stepping up with the marketing. But until that stays low, we will definitely not be spending too much money on marketing. Also remember that marketing itself, we are waiting for the overall product to be finished, because the majority of the funds are actually focused on the development of the product itself. Once we have the product, the marketing itself will increase, together. And remember, once we have the partnerships, that's marketing itself. We will have new centralized exchange listings. We were gonna to be listing on Bittrex as well. We have paused that at the moment. It is extremely expensive to list on Bittrex, and we don't think it will get that benefits at the moment. So we might be listing on smaller exchanges, because again, we need to build up volume right now. So that's basically what we need to build up at the moment, is build up the volume. We need to try to reach that 1 million basically daily volume of trades for us to be able to be noticed for certain exchanges. So that's what we'll be working on in the next few months as well. Another question is, what are your competitors and why is this project unique? From Razvan Dragomir. That's a great question. And at the moment, we don't have competitors, to be honest. I haven't been able to find a project out there that is trying to do the same thing that we are trying to do, to be honest. There is nothing at the moment in the in the market that is trying to do what we're doing. So there is no competitors, because again, we do have a lot of other projects that are trying to build that payment systems, consumer protections, and adding so on and so forth, but they are all centralized. So it would be like paying, I don't know, paying with crypto on PayPal is the same thing. You also have, you always will have that thing that it will be completely centralized. So just imagine if you have to give your money to a big company and they could limit you, or they could stop trading because in that that company failed. You know, that could happen as well. You know, or the government find out that that company was being fishy, or it is not doing what they are supposed to be doing, or following rules and regulation, and your funds will be stuck in there. You know, something that it cannot happen on merchant token because it is fully decentralized. Nobody can control the funds that are used through the system, and that's why we believe that this project is unique. Do you and John plan to join other events to talk or discuss about payment gateways? Maybe can help for marketing. Yes, we are planning on this, but again, this is not the right time. We feel that right now, going into certain events, it just doesn't make sense when we don't actually have a product to show off. Once we get into more into the alpha or even the beta test, then we will get definitely into certain more events for us to spread the word about MTO. Because at that point, remember, our main goal is not to get token holders. Our main goal is to get merchants and customers, and that's what we want to have. But we can do that once we have a project, because at the moment, right now, it's just an idea what we have, and sharing the idea, it can cause the backfire problem of, oh, you get someone that was very excited with what you just said, but that excitement fades away over time. Whether once we have something built and to show, even if it's a beta test, then at that point it will be easier for us to go and share and talk about those events and get more merchants and customers into the ecosystem as well. You have to get to global trade, Coinbase. Nico, yeah, I cannot pin different messages, but so I'm just gonna pin this one here. You have to get to global trade. You talk about Binance, Coinbase, and I literally just explained that we cannot reach certain exchanges until we actually have volume. And at the moment, the current volume, let me share here the screen. Current volume on coinmarketcap that we have is 28,000, and we need at least $1 million. You have here $29,000 24 hours. So we will need a lot more volume for us to be able to even be considered for certain exchanges such as Gate.io and KuCoin. We're not even talking about Binance. Personally speaking, I believe that once we have something more to deliver, you know, like the alpha and beta, we will see a lot more people excited about this project, and the daily volume will increase automatically. So we are working on ways, on strategies that we can do for us to increase that daily volume anyways. So we are working on a plan for that, but I don't think we can ourselves increase that without without delivering something concrete. But once we hit the 1 million daily volume, definitely it will be a lot easier for us to get listed on certain exchanges as well. Let me see another question coming in. Sophie, why do you keep banning Outspoken and your critics on Telegram? That's your job, to be open up to the room and not to shut it. We don't ban everybody who critiques the project. We allow criticism to go ahead. What we don't allow is FUD. It is not allowed. I will not allow anybody to come into my house and fad my project, or insult me, or insult the project, or insult the senior community members, insults or any other community member overall. So that's something that we will not allow at all. We have had a lot of people criticizing the project, and as long as it is a constructive criticism, then it is fine. You know, we accept it. We have never banned anyone for being outspoken about it. What we ban people for is, as I said, insults, people trying to bring that fear and uncertainty and doubt into the project. So people talking about, I don't know, over and over and over again about issues on the past that has been resolved, but they keep dwelling into that, and there is no conversation there. If I see someone that continuously hit on the same nail, just bringing those issues that are not even issues anymore, but just kind of like, you see that those people want to literally just get new people to get fear and uncertainty about this project. In that case, then there is nothing more to do than either mute or ban directly. So if there is that conversation that we can have, and that person is again is clear to that wants to understand what's going on. So for instance, if you bring on a concern, oh, why the partnership has not been released yet, I will answer you and I will give you an explanation. You might not agree with my explanation or with my plan. You can give me your idea. Again, that's a conversation that we're having there. But if you keep hitting on the nail, oh, you have to release the partnership, 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 then at that point, I don't have any other way of telling you, stop. Either I mute you or I block you. And of course, for this example, I will not be blocking you, but definitely, again, if we have that conversation there, it is fair enough. Criticism, again, I have accepted hundreds of times criticism, and you can actually go and scroll back in the chat and see how many times I have accepted criticism in there. But again, I will not be allowing people, because we know that there is a group of people that are literally coming like a clockwork. They join with a new account and they start doing on the same basis, creating uncertainty about the project so that people can go and sell their tokens. And you actually, if you go and notice, every time the price of the tokens goes up, and on the centralized exchanges, people are not selling it for very low, these people will join the Telegram group, start over again the new mechanism, the price will actually drop, because it does, and then they will just stop talking and they will go silent again for weeks or days, depending on the price average as well. So this is something that we have noticed, and we need to also make sure that the community members are safe from this. So yes, I will be blocking these kind of people. I have a question from, well, and a statement from Nico. Yeah, merchant app ideally will be as a payment system where you can exchange crypto for an MTO and then use it as a payment for products. Case the seller does not deliver, you can dispute and get money back. And Nico, yes, that's actually part of what we're working on. The idea right now is that people can pay with different cryptos. Also, of course, merchant token, it is included into that. Personally speaking, I feel that whoever will buy through merchant token will be also able, will increase the volume. So that will actually benefit us a lot. So that will definitely be the possibility. Maybe if a person has, I don't know, a token that is not widely accepted there, I don't know, just ADA, let's say someone has ADA in their wallet, but they want to actually be paying on that merchant, and the merchant doesn't accept ADA, but instead accept Ethereum and Bitcoin. But because it's using our system, that merchant will have to accept merchant token as well. So then that person have the choice to choose either because you cannot pay on ADA, then you have to pay on MTO, and we will swap directly your ADA for MTOs. Or even better, you can actually buy MTOs directly. And if you have your wallet set up correctly, you will be able to use fiat currency to buy MTOs, and so on, so on, so forth. Another thing I want to clarify on this, that if someone wants to buy with any other currency, to get the consumer protection literally protocol running on, you will have to actually pay a tiny fee on MTO. So MTO will always be used for purchases. It's just that you might not pay the full amount that you're actually paying on MTO. You might only be paying the fee. So I want to clarify that as well. So Joel Tosin, I'm just joining the AMA. Given the timeline for the product release, do you think another potential competitor can get this achieved before HIPS? Guys, this is the market. Everything can happen, I would say. We could even see someone, trying to steal the idea from us, someone else trying to steal the code from us, and that could happen. What I don't see happening is, because for this to actually be able to be put in place, you actually have to work with local laws and regulation. And this is where HIPS itself as a company comes in and have the advantages. That doesn't mean that another big company like HIPS can come in and copy the idea once we are in advanced stages and move forward and even complete something before us. That could definitely happen. But what we're trying to be here, we're not trying to be the first, we're trying to be the best into everything. So more widespread, more wide accepted, and again, the regulations here play a big part of it, because remember, you might be able to use the same system, but you will not be able to have access to the infrastructure that currently works in the real world, because this is what happens here. So maybe you have the same system but will not be able to work with certain merchants, and that's where we are actually advantaged right now. In the future, definitely we will have competitors. We are not going to be the last ones doing this, and that's the reason why once this will become decentralized, the community has to step forwards, because then it will be the community itself to actually make this project evolve over time into the right path, and make sure that we keep one step ahead of the competitors as well, because that's another thing that then we will have that problem, of course, before everything gets launched. But at the moment and currently what we have, I haven't been able to see any other projects doing something similar than MTO, so I don't see this happening anytime soon. Joel Tosin, 3 years, as you said, is a long time in the crypto space, but is it? Look at Ethereum. Ethereum has been launched for 5 years and it's still developing. It haven't finished to deploy the idea that they wanted to do. They kind of like were built over time. Cardano is the same aspect. Bitcoin itself, before Bitcoin does one change, so many things so many people has to agree on that it takes years for that to happen. So 3 years, personally speaking, I don't feel is a big time in the crypto space. It does seems like that, because you are used to see so much hype happening in such a short span of time. But when you actually go and look into that hype, just something that I want to share with you here on this note, let me actually share my screen, is ICP or Internet Computer Token. This Internet Computer Token, the price, if you guys remember, it went crazy when it joined, when it launched. Look at this, it was at $400 and now it's trading at $20 or so, because again, they haven't been finished the development of what they were trying to do, because it takes time. So people hear the idea and they say, oh, this is amazing, take my money, you know, and you literally go all FOMO on that. And things spiral out, and you feel that things are evolving quickly. But the fact that the idea was shared doesn't mean it has been completed. And that's when people then, like, you know, people kind of like stop FOMO and they start being funded about it. And this is actually something that you have to be well aware of. And again, I really believe we will have a lot of competitors coming in that wants to cash in on the idea, but that doesn't mean that they will actually complete what they're saying they're going to complete on time as well, because that's something as well that you have to take that you have to be careful on as well. Ratsvan Dragomir, any staking program? No, there is no staking program, and there will not be in the near future any staking. We cannot do staking. We don't actually even have tokens to be available for staking, if that's the case as well. But making MTO stakeable at the moment will just create us a lot of legal issues that we don't want to have, because it can slow down the whole process and the whole project as well. What we have, what we're working on is potential, and again, it's not clarified yet, but we're working on that, is the idea for token holders to lock their tokens for a certain amount of time and get a reward. It's not going to be in MTOs, it's going to be in something else. But what we're trying to do here is trying to mix different hype things. Right now I don't want to share too much. That will actually give motivate more token holders to not only join MTO, but also to lock their tokens as well, and of course at that point create that kind of like hype again around the project. Sophie, you're talking about legislation. I haven't read any legislation as well. You claim that MTO has broken some EU rules. I don't know about that. I am not a lawyer. That will be dealt by our lawyers, so I cannot answer you with that. Legality that can challenge MTO. On that space, I really... I cannot answer you. I'm not prepared for that. I will definitely ask this to John to see if there is any answer for this, and I will let you know on Telegram. But at the moment, as far as I'm aware, there is nothing at the moment that is limiting us. There is, of course, legal challenges. We have them every time and every step we take, and that's kind of like what we're trying to also resolve here. And that's also the reason why we believe, personally speaking, that this project is one step ahead from everyone else, because the legal challenges that we are facing, we are trying to solve them in a way that it will basically appease everybody if we can. But at the same time, anybody who will want to come in with a new project and try to do the same thing will have the same issues that we're facing at the moment as well. Sorry, another question. Just to remain MTO team, we are a few investors that we will take action on that role. I don't understand your point here. Just to remain MTO team, we are a few investors that we will take or take action on that role. If you can rephrase that, but guys, we are way over our time. It's 1 hour and 20 minutes, so I will be closing that. Sophie, I will advise you to go into Telegram and just pin me a message, just tag me in there, and we can keep up that conversation in there. At this point, I will just be closing the stream for today. So thank you so much, everyone. And thank you for following up here. Don't forget to like this stream, because the more you like it, the more YouTube will actually bring it up to other subscribers out there as well. So thank you so much and have a great Sunday.